The iPhone XS improves the video recording capabilities of the selfie camera, though. First, you can now shoot 1080p videos at 60 fps. It took us quite a lot of prodding around to find how to use this new mode on the iPhone XS. We had to set the main camera to shoot at 1080p at 60 fps to get the selfie camera do the same. Otherwise, it will always capture at 30 fps. Really, Apple? There is also cinematic video stabilization available for both 1080p at 30 and at 60 fps. It's always working. You can't turn it off, but you really don't want to anyway, as it is excellent. Finally, wide stereo audio capturing for the selfie videos is available, as promised. The video quality is excellent. The stabilization works great. There is more than enough detail. The colors are you can directly download the wide-angle 4K at 60 fps. 139 megabytes, 10s, 4K at 60 fps telephoto. 139 megabytes, 10s, 4K at 30 fps. 60 megabytes, 10s, 4K at 30 fps telephoto. 60 megabytes, 10s, 1080p at 30 fps. 20 megabytes, 10s, 1080p at 30 fps telephoto. 22 megabytes, 11s, 1080p at 60 fps. 30 megabytes, 10s, and 1080p at 60 fps. Telephoto, 29 megabytes, 10s, video. Samples. Accurate, and the exposure is correct, the subject's face. The expanded dynamic range is available for the 30 fps clips, and it restores most of the blown highlights. Overall, the iPhone XS Max offers some of the best selfie videos we've captured in a while. Now, if only Apple organizes its camera settings better, that would be really nice. And long overdue. You can see our 30 and 60 fps samples in the playlist below. Update, October 4th. We received quite a few tips about the iPhone XS and XS Max selfie cameras. There are various claims for some permanent beautification effects and samples to prove it. Well, we had to check it for ourselves. And here is what we found out. There are no beautification effects in the selfie camera whatsoever. Apple had never added such throughout the years, and it won't just sneak them in the new iPhones without making some big deal out of it at least. It's quite simple. The selfie camera shoots poor quality shots without smart HDR. The faces are very soft in the non-HDR selfie photos. The resolved detail is average, and the noise reduction smears some of the detail. All of these make the images look soft, while the lack of detail and the face smear can be mistaken for beautification. But if Smart HDR is enabled, as well as Keep Original Photo option, you can see both the original and the HDR photo. The people have spoken, and the Apple iPhone XS Max has already won the popular vote. The Max is massively outselling the regular XS, which makes it a winner in spite of the hefty price tag. And the HDR one is very sharp and detailed because of the multi-stacking while the original is, well, just poor. And this applies not just for the regular selfies, but for the portrait ones, too. Here are some samples to prove it. The competition. It's no secret Apple doesn't see the Android market as a threat. It does cater to millions of people, but most of them couldn't have settled with an iPhone anyway. Apple is often setting benchmarks for the whole industry, and some of the advancements eventually make their way to the Android phones. That's another reason of why no Google phone could get in the way of Apple. Chipmakers are still trying to catch up with Apple's last year achievements, while almost everyone boarded the notched train and adopted the shape of the cutout Apple put on the iPhone X a year ago. Samsung and Sony are among the few Android makers not to follow the notch trend. The Super AMOLED maker can be as stubborn as Apple for some things, stereo speakers, while Sony relies on its elegant and waterproof designs, consistent Android experience and loyal fan base. The Galaxy Note 9 and Xperia XZ3 are the pinnacles of both makers, and among the worthiest of phones today. Huawei Mate 20 is just around the corner, and we expect it will set the next benchmark for the Android performance while enhancing further the iconic Leica triple camera. And we can't wait to see what it's capable of doing. LG V40 should premiere any day now, too. It will have a large OLED screen, but the highlight will be its triple camera, regular, super wide angle, and 80mm telephoto one. The V phones are very sturdy, too. Finally, the Google Pixel 3 XL is going official any moment now, and it's the one phone that could potentially sway some iPhone users. It has the cleanest Android with regular updates, and it's not only iPhone users who may be tempted by the iPhone XS Max. People tired of the constant Googling of problems, errors, compatibility issues, non-stop system trash cleaning, irregular, if any, updates, and erratic system behavior may like it, too. That's what's missing on an iPhone, and a few limitations are the price to pay. Thus the Pixel is among the rare phone to come close to the hassle-free iOS experience. Also, the current iPhones failed to beat the Pixel 2 camera, so we can only imagine what the Pixel 3s could do. Oh, and it will pack a massive 6.71-inch OLED screen. The verdict: if the iPhone XS weren't different enough from the iPhone X, the iPhone XS Max here is begging to differ. It offers more than enough upgrades to make it a worthy jump over the X and the iPhones to come before that. Sure, it's expensive, the storage options are ridiculously overpriced. You have to buy quite a few accessories as well, but those unpleasantries couldn't stain the Apple iPhone XS Max. Its future seems shining bright, and it's probably breaking some records for Apple. Our only concern is how this phone will change the trends in phone pricing, which will definitely be reshaped, reaching new heights in the months to come. Pros: Gorilla Glass 6 panels, front and back, IP68 rating. Stunning, large OLED with Superb brightness and sunlight contrast. Industry-leading A12 Bionic chipset. Excellent camera experience across the board. Class-leading stereo speakers audio output. Cons. Recycled design. Charging is slow with the provided charger. It's iOS and it has a ton of restrictions, especially customization-wise. The most expensive smartphone with absurdly costly storage upgrades. Apple, please put the camera settings in the camera where they belong already.
Follow us. Google search. www.googlesearch.co.in. Facebook/blogtube page/ www.facebook.com weblink. Twitter.com/blogtubebt. Twitter.com weblink. If you like this video, click like icon and share your friends.
If you want more best videos, please subscribe and click bell icon.